Chris has always been a person that has kind of been an overachiever, kind of driven.
And he's always very positive. He has a diverse group of friends. He likes everybody and everybody likes him.
We had gotten up early. It was a beautiful fall Saturday morning. I remember when we got to Decorah, saying, that was one of the most fun trips that I've had, just visiting and laughing, and the sun was shining. It was October 16th. It was just a beautiful fall day. And we got there, and we had already started making friends with some of the other football parents. So it was just probably one of the best days that we'd had up to the start of that third quarter. We were sitting about midfield above the Luther sideline, and it was Deb and I and our daughter Alex, and then my mom and aunt and uncle were there, and we'd just come back in. It was getting ready to start the third quarter, and Chris is on the kickoff team, and so the ball carrier was running up that side right in front of the Luther bench, and we could see Chris coming up to make the tackle, and then the player veered back towards the center, and there was kind of a collision of multiple players, and we didn't know what had happened, and then that's when we realized Chris was still laying on the field and was injured.
And the next thing you know, our quarterback goes, "Coach, I think Chris is on the field." And then it's like your heart stops.
I got my neck hyperextended backwards. I was conscious the whole time. I was just thinking like, it's a bad stinger. It's just like my body went numb and just it'll slowly kind of come back. We're talking about getting a helicopter set up to fly to Mayo. So that's when I knew it was pretty serious.
I didn't even know he was hurt. There was just a big pile of kids, and I'm like, that's Chris. And you sit there for a second, waiting for him to get up, and he wasn't getting up, and that's when we bolted out the bleachers and headed down because we knew something was wrong.
When we got to the hospital, the surgeon pulled us into a private room, and he said, "I believe this is pretty serious." And he said, "Chris has a 3% chance of having any movement below the neck." And so, you're just like, it was just devastating at that point.
A few weeks after Chris's accident, it became clear that his injury was healing, and his injury type was reclassified as an incomplete injury.
When looking back at the last 15 months, when you take his injury as the low point, we've been very fortunate. It actually has been good news ever since.
I'm seeing improvement all the time.
1, 2, 3. Initially, the outcomes that they were giving him were pretty bleak, and he has just amazed all of us. He is an athlete. He was trained to compete, and this is the biggest competition in his life, and he's winning.
Nice. That was a good one, Chris. Up and over.
At one point I was wondering, well, is this going to have a negative impact of people be afraid to play football? What kind of an impact would it have on his close friends and his roommates? But they've seen it more as an inspiration of how hard he works and the determination.
It's exhilarating, really, to tell you the truth. It's exciting to see that he's able to do so much now, and he's making progress every day.
And he's been asked to speak at different groups, and he's just an inspiring kid.
I just want to talk to you guys about being able to compete. There's nothing I miss more than competition. There's no greater feeling than winning. I just want you guys to go out there, fly around, make some plays, have fun, but win. Win today.
Here we go, 1, 2, 3.
A hero is just someone that takes everyday life and just makes it a little bit better for somebody else. Gives somebody else some hope, gives them encouragement, and just keeps fighting the good fight.
Chris is a hero to me. Just the story of his life, to be honest, even before he was hurt. When he was younger, he had a reading difficulty. He had a lisp, and so he had to do a speech thing, and he was never real big physically for sports. He graduated with a 3.86 in National Honor Society, went to state in speech, and I've always looked at him as this kid that takes life and does the best he can and tries to get better.
Nothing came easy to me. I've had to work for everything I've ever gotten and gained in life. Definitely feels great to beat the odds, and that I'm not going to let other people tell me what's going to happen to me or how it's going to dictate my life.
It's a testimony to his faith, his determination, his dedication to overcome.
He's just got this laser focus And that laser focus, I think, is what inspires a lot of people, because they look at him, he's just so determined, I'm just going to get 1 inch at a time and get a little better.
And he has.